Hi everyone, I'm Stuart Heath here, CEO and founder of Harvard Grace Capital, back with another edition of our series of questions you should be asking your passive investment sponsor. We've done several episodes, I think 7 in total, on questions you should be asking the sponsor about the sponsor, and now we're going to ask questions you should be asking the sponsor about the investment itself. So we'll do this for 3 or 4 episodes. Today I've got 4 questions I want us to talk about. First, why did you pick this particular neighborhood and what data supports that choice? I just want to remind everybody that as a passive investor, you don't get to wash your hands of everything. Now, you're not going to be called upon for operations of building. Your job is to do due diligence on the sponsor themselves and their track record and their character and things of that nature. And so you want to ask questions about the sponsor themselves as well as this investment. So why did you pick this neighborhood? Remember, the rule of investing in real estate is location, location, location. And you cannot go too small on location. You just can't zero it down to a city or a county or anything. You really got to get down to the neighborhood level, and you need to understand that data and understand their responses because it can get quite detailed. The second question for today is, how does it, especially if this is a multifamily or a storage investment, how does the price per unit compare with recent sales in the area? Now, price per unit can vary widely. One transaction might be for a practically brand new investment and there's not a whole lot of work to be done, and another one might be for a value add transaction where there's a lot of work to do, but you need to understand the details and get a sense that the sponsor has not agreed to overpay for this unit. So the third question for today is, what specific problems at the property are you aiming to fix? If this is a value add investment, he needs to have a detailed scope of work and a budget that he intends to address and a timeline, especially if it's an operating unit. So it means you're going to take some units offline and won't be generating revenue and then bring them back online at higher rents later on, which is a classic, tried and true investment strategy for multifamily. Basically taking it from a Class B to a Class A, something like that. So you want to understand the scope of work. And the last question for today is, how much profit relies upon getting those higher rents versus lower expenses? Back not too long ago, before the pandemic, a lot of these sponsors, and it's understandably so because you were seeing some of this, but they were counting on double-digit rent increases year over year over year. And the reason so many multifamily deals are in trouble right now is because those rent increases never materialized, and with all the inflation we've had over the last several years, operating expenses went up. So really everything went against the sponsor and the operator on this deal. You want to understand what's the economic business model of the investment you're about to make, because it's a whole lot more than just buy into it and you'll make money off of rent income. If there is a change plan involved, then you want to understand the business plan. But those are the first set of questions to ask your sponsor about the investment itself. Come back next time for more questions. Thanks.